Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. And we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have a hell of a show in store for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So, as you guys know, we predominantly cover NBA topics, NBA players, and all of that. And many of us that watch this channel have been big fans of the NBA for quite some time. But if you've been following the league over the last 5 years or so, you'll witness this kind of erosion of the product. In the past, players wore it as a badge of honor to play the games, show up for the fans. When it was All-Star Weekend, put their best foot forward. You would have big-name players in All-Star Weekend performing, slam dunk contest, skills challenge, and all of that. And you just got a sense that the players cared and therefore fans cared to watch. But over the last few years, we've seen a deterioration in that sentiment. Players don't seem to care. If you look at the last two All-Star games, it was evident. The game has become quite redundant because of the style of play where every single night now there's an opportunity for you to witness between 70 to 100 three-pointers in a particular game. That's bad. And then whenever we complain about it, it seems that the commissioner himself is not listening, and, you know, fans have just become this afterthought. And I've been complaining about this, and I've been saying this for quite some time now, that I believe that we're actually witnessing kind of the fall of what men used to stand for. Men in the past used to carry themselves with honor, integrity, and they really cared about their profession, their image, and what they represented. Whereas today, it just seems like anything goes. Anything goes. And you got a lot of the older guys basically trying to assimilate themselves with the young boys. And they essentially defend any and everything because they want the young boys to accept them. So what happened? Just yesterday, I was just combing through the internet and I came across a clip from Nightcap. And it features Shannon Sharpe, obviously, and Chad Johnson. And they were reacting to a story that was surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. Essentially what happened, because I don't really follow football, but essentially what happened is the Dallas Cowboys played a football game in which they lost. And later on that night, or maybe the following night, they went to a club and essentially shot a video. Well, it was this story that essentially sent Shannon Sharpe over the edge. And he started ripping into the Cowboys and ripping into players that only play for money. And as I was listening to him talk, I'm like, Shannon is just not talking to Dallas Cowboys, the football players. He's talking to the modern day athlete, essentially. And I was like, this would be a very, very powerful segment for us to cover today on our channel. So what we want to do is want to play exactly what Shannon Sharpe had to say. I want you guys to listen to everything he had to say carefully, and then we're going to come back and really react to that. Take a listen to what he had to say here.
That's why y'all Cowboys suck. Because two of your best players, this is what they're doing. That shows you how much the game of football means to them. That's what he told me everything I need to know.
Yeah.
All I got to do, I see better than I hear. Now, I heard what CD said. Trayvon doesn't do a whole lot of talking. I hear what Michael said, but my grandpa used to always tell my brother now, he said, I see better than I hear. I heard what I heard what y'all told me, but I know I see that trash still in the corner when I told y'all to take it out. Everybody talks about winning, but do you take the steps in order to win? How is partying? You got your ass kicked. I would have left the stadium with a bag over my head. Ain't no way y'all seeing me leave the stadium. After I got beat like that, after I've gotten beat like that every game, 47-9, 37-10, 48-32, a yada and a partridge in a pear tree, and you do this, is disrespectful. It is disrespectful to the fans that pay their hard-earned money. But you know what? It couldn't happen to a better franchise because all they want to do is run his mouth and talk about what they're going to do. And this team, I've been around Super Bowl teams and this and that. And all they players do, because they take it from the top, they run their mouth and they ain't one dog crap. None of them.
No, dog. You can say
not
it.
one.
It's okay.
And they talk about they know what it takes. You don't know what it takes to win because none of you guys have won. It is disgusting. It's disappointing that these two of your best players, this is what they think. See, it just goes to show you. See, everybody tells you what they think you want to hear.
Yeah.
But I see what I need to know. And it tells me everything I need to know. You can't convince me these guys care about winning because this is not what you do when you want to win. So what's in the club that's going to help you get better? Take your ass home and start the recovery process. This is why I couldn't play in today's time. Because guys, I don't care what they say. Guys, a lot don't care about winning. They like the bag. Yeah. They like what comes along with being an NFL player. You're going to get the baddest women. You're going to get to go to the clubs. You get to move to the front of the line. You get to go all these places. But everything, our brand, my brand, the Cowboys is the brand. Ain't one player on that team got a damn brand. Because you ain't won nothing. Because you don't care about winning. You ain't got no leadership. That's your number one problem. Who's the leader?
So you heard what Shannon Sharpe had to say. As I was listening to him, I'm like, man, you could apply this to the NBA right now. There's this story going on with the Philadelphia 76ers, and they're just going through the Sixers are actually going through a collapse, and it's all starting from within. It's starting with their best player in Joel Embiid, who seems with every passing day to be losing more and more ground with the Philadelphia 76ers fan base. Let me just give you guys some quick data here. As we currently speak, the Philadelphia 76ers have a 3-12 record. The only team worse than them in their conference is the Washington Wizards with a 2-12 record, and the only team they are the second worst team in the NBA. It's the Wizards, and then they're tied with the Utah Jazz with a 3-12. That's how bad the Philadelphia 76ers have been. But if you watch some of the things that the players have been doing on that roster, you wouldn't even know. In the midst of this massive collapse that we're witnessing with the Philadelphia 76ers, do you know who is giving us the play-by-play and the blow-by-blow every single day? Paul George. Paul George has turned into a full-time podcaster. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, how can you be having the season that you're having and you find time to go out there and do a podcast when that's not even your function? That's not even your job. You are an NBA player getting paid $200 million over the next 4 years by the Philadelphia 76ers. You guys are going through a total tailspin, and you somehow, some way find the energy and the enthusiasm to go out there and do a podcast talking about, man, how the league happened. I'm like, how can you be that tone deaf? But that essentially represents the NBA and modern sports today. It's all about the branding. It's all about the branding. How can I continue to enhance my brand? It's like, bro, your team is getting their asses whiz-zapped on a nightly basis, and you up here doing podcasts. It was something I heard Brandon Jennings complaining about on Gil's Arena. He's like, if you're an active player, there should be no reason you're doing a podcast. None whatsoever. The thing about it to me is that I don't even care to hear what these guys are talking about, especially if you're an active player. If you're an inactive player and you're retired, okay, that's different because you're covering the game and all of that stuff. But when you're going through okay, let me show you the fundamental difference between a Paul George and a LeBron James. This is why I give LeBron credit. LeBron said, okay, I'm going to do this a Mind the Game podcast. But when the season gets back to business, I'm going to focus on the NBA season because I'm an NBA player. Not Paul George. Not the rest of these dudes. They just went right back to becoming podcasters instead of studying LeBron James and see. You see, success leaves clues. No matter how annoying LeBron is to me, and he is really annoying to me, no one can question his commitment and his work ethic and his focus. LeBron, we can say whatever we want to say about him, but the thing we can't say is that he's not focused. LeBron James is focused. When the season was coming, he's like, I'm done with the podcast. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. In the off season, if I have a few things to say here and there, sure, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll go there. We'll talk for an hour or so. Whatever, I'll do it. But during the regular season, I'm focused on my business. I'm focused on my work, not Paul George and the rest of these guys. Paul George is getting paid $200 million to be a podcaster, essentially, because he's not on the court at all. At all. So what Shannon Sharpe was saying in that soundbite could be applied to basketball. It could be applied to football. You literally could apply it across. It's just a modern day athlete. And it's a damn shame. It's an absolute shame. And dare I say, it's a disgrace. It's a total disgrace. It's all about the branding. It's gotten so bad in the NBA that now the NBA is looking for ways to incentivize their players to give a damn about the All-Star. You know, the All-Star weekend, which was supposed to be dedicated to the fan, they now have to create financial incentives just to get them to care about the game. It is that bad. It's that bad. So I thought that Shannon Sharpe's message here was absolutely powerful, and I think it was something that needed to be echoed on our channel. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about what Shannon had to say? Do you think there's any truth to it? What do you think about our analysis? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We'll catch you guys on the next show. Peace.